What is going on, guys? The Difference is All Gaming with my review of Seraph of the End episode 6, and finally, this series has taken some huge steps, and it's definitely kind of surprising that we're already halfway through the anime, because to be honest though, it still feels like that we're really early on in the series, and right here, after this episode, we have now hit the midway point. But this episode, it covers so much, and our characters definitely got some major character development and some big powers as well, because they all have, their own curse gear now. And the episode itself, it starts off where we see each of our characters are going through their own separate trials, because right now they have to form a contract with the demon. And we see now that with Yoshi, it was a sister who was killed by a vampire. And with Kimi, about his own sister who was who would play with that virus and dying. And of course with his own trial, once again, it was dealing with his family. But we see now, or we learn actually, that the vampire that actually killed, Yoshi's sister, we actually saw him, early on in the episode. And of course, we saw him at the end of this one. So this one might actually get a chance to take his revenge, pretty soon. And with Kimi, I did feel a bit bad, because it seems like sometimes he actually does, want to leave his sister who's definitely, dying, because everybody, had darkness, in their heart. So I really can't blame him if he does feel like that. And once again, the demon, the demon that you was trying to make a contract with, it was once again taking on the image, of his family. And now there was one thing I found, very interesting, and that's when Goran was looking over Kimi, and Goran knew that Kimi would get through this, and that right there was impressive, because we did see at first everything was normal, but once the demon, had pointed out, possibly his true feelings, and we saw Kimi get pretty upset. I was shocked that maybe that demon would push him over the edge, but no, Goran was definitely right about him, because he was the first one to actually make a contract with his demon. So that right there was impressive. And now we see that with you. You was already used to this, but the demon was on an entirely different level compared to the first one. And we saw that now with the demon apparently made these black spikes that had impaled him. And not only that, this demon had also bought out, used other family members besides Mika. But obviously, Mika is the one he was the closest to. And so obviously that right there should bring out, the most emotion out of him. But we see now that, even though you were used to this demon will still get used to him, because we saw this demon trying to make you, give it to revenge and only love lust, because they hate love itself, and they could only love lust. So they could only love lust. So it's definitely kind of complicated a little bit, but obviously, this demon could not break him down, because we saw at one point, even though, they were all talking to him, trying to break him down, they could not do it. And eventually, you here actually overcame, the temptation of this, and we see him now wipe out everything, and with only him and the demon left. But we see now that this demon, even though she could not break you down, she actually did give in to him, and that right there, allowed you to actually make a contract with her. And so we learn now that this demon's name, it is called Asuramaru, and we see her human form at one point. But we do learn now that you here, he is definitely not all human anymore. He is actually 10% non-human. And now what that could be is either a vampire or maybe a demon itself. We have no idea what this 10% is, because we should know that it's a non-human. And so we did learn, at the end of episode 1, they were already going to do experiments on him, so that way he could fight vampires. So obviously, it ties into that. We just have no idea what they did, because obviously that right there was over entirely. So that right there was kind of disappointing. But the way she was warning him about how humans can be scarier than vampire the demon, I sure Marvel might have a point about that, but I really do hope that we learn what in the world did he do to him, because that right there is just so important. I feel like it can answer, so many questions as well, because we have no idea what kind of training he went through. Because obviously, after he had met Gordon for the first time and joined him, we go to the time skip of him being his current age now. But now we see that once he made that contract with the demon and he woke up, we see now that the only one who was left was obviously, it was Yoshi. And so inside of his own mind, with the demon, like he had no will for revenge nor any hatred. All he had was like a passion, stability, and love for his comrades family. And that right there was what the thing that the demon hated. And so right now the demon was like actually able, to take over his body, and we see now that like he had these they had these markings under his eyes, and he had like these horns coming out of his head. And not only that, he actually was like able to summon that boat anytime he wanted to, because obviously that demon was tied to it. And so right now Gurren here was like actually making them or trying to make them, kill Yoshi, because he was telling them that there was no way he'll come back. But obviously they did not want to give up and believe that, and we saw them now fighting. And for their first fight, it actually wasn't that bad. Kimi here actually did impress me somewhat, like the way he was like using those daggers, because to me, you would think he would have no idea what to do with them, but he actually shows some skills somewhat. And obviously, Yoshi here, being controlled by this demon, he definitely knew how to use that bow. But we see now that like even though this guy come off as so freaking cold, like he was trying so hard, not to kill and not really fight him. He was like mainly, dodging all of the attacks. So obviously, Yu is definitely, a pretty kind guy. And even at one point, when like Kimi got real serious and was acting like he was going to kill him, we have Yu here, like pointing that out. Are you really trying to kill him right now? Because obviously, obviously Yoshi is still the comrade no matter what. And we even have, Shinowa, because obviously, Shorty had the weapon. So she was like standing on the sidelines, and we see now that when she actually tried to like talk to Gurren, once again the guy being a real prick. But there was that one point where where Yu finally gave up, and he felt like there was just no way he can kill Yoshi, and there was no way Yoshi could kill him. And we see that, Kimi and Shinowa, they were like getting really concerned about this. And we see them now, like charging in there, because obviously, if Yu was like not going to fight, then obviously, those two will have to step in and protect him, of course. And so now we see that when Yoshi here was going to like shoot at him, because obviously, like there was no way he wouldn't, because the demon was controlling him. We saw Gurren for the first time kind of get kind of worried, and he actually spoke to Yoshi, and his words actually reached through to him. And we see now once again that flashback of where his sister told him not to come out of that bed. We see now that he was going to do it. And so right now he made a plea with the demon. He does not want the power for revenge. He want the power, to protect everything, because obviously he never want to lose someone again. And that right there, like brought him back. And also, kind of makes sense, like why Yu and Yoshi are so similar, even though their personalities are like polar opposites, because both of them, want to protect everything and lose nothing ever again, because these two are the same, as they both lost their family, in front of them. And so now we see, like once he came back, he was crying, and he ran over, to Yu and hugged him, and that right there was nice. It was a very touching moment to once again we have Gurren being Gurren, as it came out of nowhere and kicked Yu right in the stomach. And obviously, Yu had no time to brace for that, and so we see now that kick kind of knocked him out. And now we have Gurren, talking to Yoshi, saying that this guy has talent, but obviously, he feels guilty about not helping his sister, and that right there allowed the demon, to take him over in the first place. And it seemed like somehow Goran was like definitely able to peek into their minds during the ritual and see what was going on, because we see now that when he had went to Yu and he kicked his head a little bit to get him up, he had told them now to forget about his past family, because right now the people around him, his comrades, they're his new family, and the past offers him nothing, but only the future offers him, limitless possibilities. And that right there was like actually, a good line from Goran. Even though this guy can be a dick, we have seen that he is definitely a good guy at heart, and that is why Goran is my favorite character. But right now our characters, they're getting no breaks, because now they will head to the front line, because they know that the vampires, they will attack some place called Shinfuku, or with a Shin Kuku, something like that. But obviously the vampires, they are now making a move. And Goran will not make them a squad, because they fight pretty well together, and so it only makes sense. And so right now you hear like kind of excited, but Kimi and Yoshi, like those two come on and break, but obviously that right there cannot happen. But we see now like some of the vampires that are like heading to this location. One of them is the vampire that killed Yoshi's sister, and the other one is Mika. So obviously, our face-to-face between Yu and Mika is getting so close, I can practically taste it. But this episode, to me, it was like definitely good. I loved it. As a person, I'm going to give it probably an 9 or 8.5 out of 10. But of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.